if it hurts to do this, ooh, this one hurts, then you might have tennis elbow. And that was the first step that I had to go through, comparing my symptoms to the recognized presentation of tennis elbow. Once I felt confident I'd figured out the issue, I hit the literature and looked for interventions, particularly exercise-based ones that resulted in improvements. The studies I found slightly differed in their protocols, but had some common elements. From this, I developed my own training protocol, which I went ahead and did. And by now, some 100 days later, I've restored a lot of function to my elbow. So although this video is an introduction to the series, if you only have time to watch one video on how to fix your tennis elbow, I'm thinking this summary will be comprehensive enough. So if you find out you've got tennis elbow, what can be done about it? Well, one solution that kept coming up was a corticosteroid injection. But I didn't want to go down that path. I wanted to try and solve the problem using an exercise-based therapy. And I found a lot of good supporting evidence to show that that should work. And the same exercise-based therapies kept coming up, and that's to do eccentric wrist flexion. Now that's about working the problem muscles involved in lateral epicondylitis. The problem muscles involved in tennis elbow, they share a common tendon. They're muscles involved in wrist extension, and some of the muscles are also involved in digit extension, finger extension. 160 of these eccentric contractions every day. I decided to break that up into 8 sets of 20, and that was how I applied my therapy. Now what I did at the beginning though was completely different to what I was doing by the time I got to, well, I would call it the end, but let's call it where I am now, because I still present with a little bit of pain. Now, first things first, we are doing 8 sets. That's a lot of volume. My reason for this is that the first 6 sets go from very easy to hard. But really, the first 6 sets are about getting warmed up, good volume in, and be really thoroughly warmed up to do those last 2 sets. Because I think those last 2 sets should finish with an all-out maximum effort.
Okay.
Oh. It's that easy, guys. Now, when you first start this therapy, the muscles are weak and pain is high. The strategy is start with very light weights and mostly focus on a good, slow control contraction. Really control it. At the end of the set, if you know you can go a little heavier, do it. Always try to progress a little. If you can't, no problem. Just keep controlling and pushing through those 20 rep sets. I remember just moving into my second session, I could lift a little heavier. And with persistence, you should keep improving. And by the way, people, this therapy should be tough. At the end, you should really struggle to extend your fingers without them shaking. If you've been keeping it up, the weights should be getting higher. And that means your strength is coming back, but you might still have some pain. That's what I experienced. Now, as you continue to get stronger though, there are 2 things that I want you to keep in mind. Number 1, for the first 4 sets, I started to include the concentric phase as well. Now, I started including lifting the light weight up rather than just controlling it down. I felt that helped. However, the evidence suggests the therapy happens with those maximal eccentric contractions at the end. So that's still my focus. Extra tough contractions at the end of sets 7 and 8. Second thing, I started to include working my unaffected arm to try and keep things even and balanced. I found my injured arm became as strong as my unaffected arm, even though my injured arm still had some pain. That is most of the therapy right there. The dominating aspect of the therapy are those eccentric contractions, doing 160 a day, 8 sets, 20 reps. Keep that up for about 100 days, and I'm confident the results are going to be less pain, more strength. I could say more, I could say a lot more, and not just about the exercise related part, but about all the other stuff I did alongside this therapy, like modify my other training, include massage, whether or not I should take painkillers, ice, even my choice of computer mouse. So if this video has been helpful and you'd like more detail, it is coming. I'm going to give it to you guys. Thank you very much. If you've watched the video this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please, any comments you have to say, if you tried the therapy, if your arm is killing you, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to read and reply to the comments. And that's it for this episode of Carbon Crossroads. We hope that you liked this video, and hey, please subscribe for more. Cheers.